how to conduct a process flow and how to understand a process flow diagram for your organization. In this video, we're going to talk about some basic, quick, simple steps to identify the inputs, the process, and the outputs in your organization. In this video, you'll learn how to find key examples for your industry, key examples for the specific steps for your industry and your organization. We're going to take you through how to understand and undertake an analysis using the tool that I've got right here in front of me to identify key steps in a process flow for your organization and your industry. Check out our process flow tutorial video for how to put this process that we're going to go through into practice in your organization. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kobe Simmet. I'm from Best Practice. We've got a great video here where we're going to take you through some basic steps. I'm going to show you what I do when I'm putting together a video for someone who's had a specific request. So there's lots of organizations out there and people that hit us up for videos. I don't, in a lot of cases, know about those organizations because they're all over the world. So I'm just going to show you the process that I go through to school myself on what's involved in establishing a process flow, find out a bit about that industry, a bit about that organization. So first thing that I do, obviously, if someone from one of our followers or one of our subscribers asks for a video, is I'll have a look at their website. So this is the Best Practice website that I've got up here on the screen. These are the different ISO standards that we work with here: quality, OH&S, environment, information security, food safety. We do lots of work helping organizations to grow, to be fun, to be profitable, to be safe, customer focused, have good data security, good food safety. So it's a lot of fun here every day at Best Practice. We have a lot of fun shooting videos and helping clients to achieve those amazing outcomes. That's our website. So I would have a look at the website of an organization. I'm going to use us as an example. There's our website there for Best Practice. Now, over on the next page, I've got Google open to do a quick Google search. I would probably do 3 to 4 Google searches an hour through my workday, looking for information, trying to find out what's going on. And so it's important to understand when we're doing this Google searching and we're using this great tool that we can be a little bit critical around the information we're being presented from the search, or being served in terms of a Google search, so we can understand what we need to do. So today we just want to touch on the basic steps of conducting a process flow. So I'm just going to type a quick Google search of what does a process flow diagram look like. So I just wanted to show you there that that a couple of things is someone has searched this before. So with what is being in auto text there that Google is putting forward, someone has searched this before. So we'll hit enter on that search and see what we come up with. Wikipedia's got some commentary, which I think is fantastic. Obviously, Google is saying that in the search result that we've been served by Google, images, and lots of people looking at process flow images, so we can see those. There. Going down here, as I move through the search results, I don't click straight away into something. I scroll down the page and I look for themes and trends in the black text. So this is what's been picked up by an SEO search or search engine optimization and the web crawlers at Google crawling over all of the different websites around the world and in the internet. Process flow diagram from Wikipedia. We might jump into Wikipedia for this particular video. We haven't done that for a little while. And we've got different process flow diagrams. So I'll come back to Wikipedia. I just want to show you the images. Now, you might have seen this on some of our other videos, but I'm a huge fan of the images tab. It's about honesty in this instance, and it's hard to SEO an image. So with search engine optimization and marketing with websites, a lot of organizations put a lot of work into their text so they can get a high text result. It's still early days with the image SEO and search engine optimization. So people aren't putting as much effort into that, the marketing people. So if you're a marketing person, you're watching this, there's a tip. If you want to get good results, I'm telling all of our subscribers and viewers to hit the images button. So we've got 89,000 results. We're not going to go through those. We're looking for the top 10. So we'll click across into images and we're going to see lots of different process flows. So for your industry, you can see there's chemical, refinery, just as a couple of examples across these green boxes here. So we could say, what does a process flow diagram for a construction company look like? And here we go. Let's have a look and see what we've got. That looks like an org chart there. We've got, that's not going to be, and this is typically what I've got to be critical to see what's going on. Let's have a look at this trading process diagram, project management process flow. That could be a good one. So I'm getting a bit of a theme here. So that's not a high enough resolution. Oh yes, here we go. Project's created. We monitor the status of the project. We create project documentation, assign tasks, conduct meetings. Moving through the process diagram, we monitor the project progress. We look at time, expense, and purchase. And then we're looking at data warehouse. So that looks like an IT, so it's not construction. Let's go back into images. Hang on, we want to look at, I'm going to do a new search. I'm not seeing what I want really quickly. So I'll do a new search. So I won't get too bogged down in it and waste time. I need to do this really quickly. I'm doing a more refined search, construction process diagram. Now we're looking for process flows for the construction industry. This is a good one. Scope, design, application, construction, closeout. Fantastic. So that's a good example. So if you want to bounce around between these, I'd recommend opening another tab. So we jump into another tab, bring up Google, there it is, and we do that same search. And so I can then, if I'm presenting to someone, if I want to show my boss, and I want to get, get a few things happening, then I'll open a couple of tabs in Google. We've already opened up, let's go back to our original one. Let's just go back and check our search. So we did construction process flow. Let's just go forwards, I apologise. Here we go. And our search was construction process diagram, and we did construction process flow diagram. We can see our search results different. So it is to play around with your search result, you can make it more specific. So if you're a construction industry, if you're in manufacturing, you're in service, call centre, hotel, automotive parts, maintenance workshops, any of the organisation, any of you guys that watch these videos, just do the Google search of your industry. Now, you can make improvements because you're going to see the images search. A lot of this stuff is pretty fresh. The internet's always updating itself, so everyone updating their websites. And we can see, construction schedule, construction company, and we're seeing some different results across the top. What I just wanted to show you is, okay, there's a diagram. We'll go back to the one, there's a whole sample and pages and pages and pages of diagrams. We keep scrolling. There's thousands and thousands and thousands. So it is important to try and limit your time in terms of how much time you spend on each one looking, but give yourself adequate time to do your investigation, but also be critical. I always recommend looking at 12. I think 12 is a good number because, if you look at 1 or 2 or 3, you might get hung up on just one example. But if you can look at 12, it means you need to allocate. I've got 20 minutes. I'm going to divide that 20 minutes into 12 parts, and then I'm going to spend a couple of minutes on each one just checking out what's going on. You'll get a feel for what you like and don't like. I'm going to jump onto this one. It just gives me a good sense. Something about region for highway work permit process. It's a public document. Let's click on it and see where it's come from. So we've got New York State here as it's gone. We've gone all the way to the other side of the world. New York State's got their permit process guide and flowchart set up on their website. So thank you, New York State. It looks absolutely fantastic. So you've got obviously a whole bunch of stuff there around building your roads in construction. And it's the Department of Transport for New York State. So let's go back to the diagram. Consultants and the consultant stage, DOT rules and DOT business. You've got contractors in there. Good example of the process flow. So good first step to get a sense of what to do. Okay, so how do we make the link and how do we start? Pick a piece of software that you guys would like to use. I'd highly recommend Google Docs. Open a blank Google document and start creating boxes and then connecting those with arrows. So, if you want to sit on a screen and do that, I personally prefer a whiteboard. And if you want to look at some of the other process flow tutorials here at Best Practice, we do them on a whiteboard. So I think better when I'm standing. So I'll just, I'll put it up on a whiteboard and then I'll bring different people in from the organisation just to discuss and make subtle changes and incorporate their opinions for how we're going to go forward. So I'd recommend doing some initial searching here, doing some screenshots, printing these, so printing off the ones that you like, using them as a sample, have a go at drawing your own on a whiteboard or creating a document. One of the words of warning and a quick caution here is, if you go and start creating these flowcharts yourself on a screen, you're potentially going to slow your process down. So something really simple on a whiteboard, you can then get some assistance to actually turn that into a public, desktop published document. So don't get too caught up in, yes, open a Google Doc, and that's the next step, a Google Doc or a Word document or a flowchart. There are software programs for creating flowcharts. I wouldn't get too hung up on that at this stage. Microsoft PowerPoint is perfectly fine to create a flowchart on a slide, as is Google Slides. So, whether either of those two products, we prefer Google products here. We don't use Microsoft. So we'd open a Google Slide or a Google Doc and create that process flow, only after we've had a whiteboard session. So if you want to see a whiteboard session, check out some of the other video tutorials right here at Best Practice TV. We'll see you next time on Best Practice TV. Bye for now.